All right, people, how we doing out there? First things first, another blessing from our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, or blessings with an S from our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Is always blessing, always watching over us, always taking care of us. Whew, I tell you, without Jesus, I don't know what I would do with my life. I don't know. I don't know what I would do. My life is not complete without Jesus. You know, you realize that you don't have, when you really, really, really love the Lord, you don't want anything to do with this world. There's nothing in this world that can help you at all whatsoever. Money in this world don't mean anything to me. I mean, money helps. Yeah, it does. It helps us out in a lot of things that we need. But is it something that we worship? No. God comes first. You have to realize that the only thing important in your life above all things is God. Once you come to that realization in your life, you understand it so much better. The scary thing, what I explain to people, most scariest thing ever, the scariest thing you could ever possibly think of, even scarier than the devil, is people who basically live in the world of denial. They live in a world where they believe that they're close to God when technically they're super far away. And these are people who get caught up in this delusional world with the devil, and they really believe that they're close to God, but they're nowhere near close to God at all. They're in a delusional, fictional, fake world of believing that they're doing all this good and they're doing nothing at all. Another thing too, adding blessings with hatred. The reason why I say this because we've had people who give us God bless you or blessings. They'll constantly put it into doing acts with the devil. So they'll do something of Satan and then they'll put in God bless you. That's almost the same equivalence of someone basically saying, talking about the Lord and cursing at the same time, reading the Bible and cursing at the same time. That's where that comes in from. So when we see a fellow YouTuber who's hated our company the most out of everyone else, and this is the person who started these campaigns about how our blessings were fake, who started campaigns about how doing fake demonstrations against our products, this person put himself under great judgment. Great judgment. He's under some very serious judgment here. He went out and spread even lies with other people who got caught on to follow this man, and they were also spreading this hatred. They put themselves under judgment. And then what this guy does is he has this habit, and I warned this guy, I'm warning you at the end, stop doing this because you are putting yourself in very serious danger. Stop putting in hatred. God has nothing to do with hatred. There is no evil in God at all whatsoever. God doesn't know any form of evil at all. He's God. He's pure. He's about life. He's about not revenge. He's not about cheating and stealing and ripping people off. He's not about having deep hatred for people. That's not God. If that was God, we're in a lot of trouble. We'd all be gone by now. He would have got rid of us a long time ago because we do not listen to anything he says. So if that was the truth, if that was God, then we'd be in a lot of trouble. But this individual has a habit of putting the word blessings in with acts of hatred with Satan. Now that where he basically did the counterfeiting, he ripped off a lot of major companies and then had to put in there, I'm blessed. No, you're not blessed. You're cursed. Because God doesn't know evil. There's no evil in God. So how would God basically support counterfeiting? How would God support stealing? That would be stealing. This is the 10th commandment. 8th commandment. Thou should not steal. So if he puts down, thou should not steal, and you have stolen and said, I'm blessed, you're not blessed. How can God bless something that he's against? God hates stealing. He hates it. He hates the other. Anything that has anything to do with evil, God hates it. He doesn't like it. That God does hate. He hates evil. He hates all of it. Anything that has to do, he hates all of it. So to sit there and say, God bless, after doing an act of the devil, is basically putting yourself in serious danger because now you have put words into God's mouth. That's something that God will not support. And this is a very dangerous path to be on. He did it again with the eBay listing. In the eBay listing, he put down, God bless. Now, he does the God bless as in a way to try to intimidate us. This is not hurting me. This does not hurt me. This does not, it puts you in a very dangerous position because you choose to use the Lord's word blessings and add it in with acts of hatred. This puts you at danger. That's what it does. I explain to people at the end of the day, no matter what you think, right now, some of you right now are thinking evil things. And understand this, God knows everything you are thinking before you think it. Before you can even process that thought of hatred, God knows it already. So everything you've done is written in a book of judgment. I had to look into that more. It's a book of judgment. The book of life is for those that are being written in that book, or for people that are basically going to be see Jesus. They're the ones going to see Jesus. That's the book of life. Those are written, they're going to have the book of life and the book of judgment. So you're in the book of judgment. So that's why I explain to people in the day, be careful about how easy it is to sin and to fall into this path. We have people who come on this channel and they pop in, they pop out. They pop in, they pop out. They pop in, they pop out. And I look at this and I go, this is not annoying me. This is you entertaining Satan. This is what we see. They feel that, oh, we'll let them start talking and then we'll pop out. When I come on this platform, when I come on here to speak, I'm not speaking to one individual. I'm speaking to everybody. There could be no one on here listening to anything I have to say. It doesn't make a difference. As long as this video uploads, as long as this video goes where it needs to go, and I pray that the Lord God, ask the Lord to guide these videos where they need to go, the Lord will make it possible for this video to go where it needs to go and reach who it needs to reach. God can do anything. There's nothing that God can't do. So when I come on here to talk, to talk about the Lord and things that we do. But we have people who feel, and this is why I feel sorry for you, you're in great danger. When you basically entertain the devil, you have given him an invite to come play with you. That's what you've done. When you feel that you're doing something like, say if a Christian's out there preaching on the corner, and you decide to turn your music up real loud so no one can hear him preach, you have now put yourself in the path of the devil. Which means now the devil could be very well sitting in the back seat of your car. You don't see him. He's in there smiling at you like, thank you. I've been waiting for an invitation all day. And the person who's out there doing that preaching is the one trying to save you from what's sitting in the back seat of your car now. What's sitting in the back seat of your car is looking for the opportunity to kill you. The person across the street can save you from the individual in the back seat. What I find interesting about these scenarios is that when a situation arises for the devil to get an opportunity to take your life, say your tire blows out, you're swerving on the road, and there's a good opportunity, you could go off a bridge or slam into the back of a vehicle and be killed. Who are you calling out to? You're calling out to Jesus. You're calling out to God. But the same person that was sitting across the street that was preaching about him, you denied him. You blocked him. You wanted nothing to do with him. So imagine if Jesus looked down and say, well, you blocked out that Christian who was trying to preach to you. I want nothing to do with you. What situation are you in now? Now you have the demon in the back of your car and you are going to die without ever being saved, and he's going to collect what belongs to him. Those are the scenarios you get yourself into every single day you're on this earth. Everything on this planet is cursed. Everything on this planet is designed some way for the devil to figure out a way how to get rid of you. You ever played the game Mousetrap before? The whole thing about Mousetrap is build all these traps to catch the mouse. That's how Satan sees you. So when you do the pop in and pop out, that doesn't discourage me. It's sad because I know already you have invited Satan. And he's not done. Oh, he's a person who doesn't like to leave. And he likes to bring other people with him. It says in the Bible that when the devil comes to see you, he never comes alone. He'll bring other followers with him. Demons do this. They'll come to your home and they will bring demons far worse than them. And they'll basically set up shop. Why leave a place when you have the ability to basically profit? Why stay? Why leave? You'll stay. And that's what they'll do. And again, I can't express this enough. The cursing, the hatred, and adding in God's blessings. You know what that word blessing means? You know what that stands for? That is your Heavenly Father giving you a gift of blessings, and then someone takes it and takes hatred and adds that in. Fernando has done this multiple times. Very dangerous to do. I hate to put it this way. I don't like to cast judgment on people at the end of the day, but from a person who's been on that side of the fence, on a person who served the devil every single day, from what I've seen from these people who follow this individual, you are in bed with the devil. You are. You are not blessed. God can't bless you. God can't forgive you. You don't get that. You know why? Because you can't get blessings if you got hatred in your heart towards someone else. And I know the hatred that you guys directed in my direction from the door. I know who you follow. I know who you serve. And you're probably getting angry off this right now as I'm saying it right now. I guarantee you. You're probably getting upset and angry over the very thing I'm saying. That tells you right from the door that how in bed you are with the devil. So, you have invited someone into your home, and mind you, around your family, around your pets, around your wife, whose intention is to wipe you out. Not you, everyone that sits in that house, anyone that enters that house. The devil doesn't pick and choose at the end of the day. He's not a person who goes, well, you know, I'm just going to take him out. You know, he's got opportunity. He's going to take all of you out. He'll kill the dog if he can. He don't care. Do you understand what you're dealing with at the end of the day? That's the problem. People look at Lucifer as this is walking around with a pitchfork and a pointy tail, you know. They make comics and jokes about this guy and blah, blah, blah. This is nothing to play with. This is an extremely dangerous fallen angel. You need to be terrified of what's here and what's coming for you. You should never, ever invite it into your home, around your family. Don't entertain it. And this is what people do. They entertain the devil. You're talking about an angel at one point that was God's favorite. Do you have any idea a powerful angel would be that powerful to be God's favorite? Usually, when someone becomes God's favorite, they have extreme power. Now, is he able to take out God? Oh, no. If he could take out God, he would have took out God the first time he tried. He's not more powerful than God's virgin apostle, but he is an angel that's extremely dangerous. And look at the damage he causes. People who listen to him, look at the destruction he causes. That's literally what you invite into your home. You invited into your home something far worse than any dictator on the face of the planet. He makes dictators. That's what he does. He makes drug lords. He makes all that stuff. That's the evil you see upon the earth, the most heinous thing you could possibly see, you know, serial killers, all that, that's Satan. And that's not even close to what he is. And people get in courts and they see these people do horrible, horrific things to children and all kinds of stuff. And you think, my goodness, how can anyone be that evil? The devil's far worse than they are. By so many different levels. And that's what you invited in your heart and into your home when you have hatred towards someone else. You have sent out an invite for that demon to come see you. They watch you all day long. Did you know that? Demons and angels watch you all day. All day you're watched. You don't realize it because, you know, people get caught up in this world at the end of the day. You know, you get caught up in your cars and your business and your job and the money you make and and vacation, whatever. You don't realize the entire time there's a demon watching you. Go on vacation, he's there. Go to sleep, he's there. Wake up in the morning, he's there. Anywhere you go, he's there. He's right there. Just waiting for you to open your mouth and say something to invite. That's why the minute I walk out in the street, I am a human being just like everybody else. I get emotional, I get upset, I get angry. People, oh, you're not a Christian, could you? I'm a human being, I'm going to get upset. The difference between me and you is that when I get upset, I pray and give it to God as fast as I can. Because I know the devil. I know everything there is about the devil. I know the acts and the trouble he's gotten me into, and I know what he could do if I fester that hatred. So that fast I give it to God. Because I learned that lesson a long time ago when I was sitting there. I told you about the fellow who I went and called his job about him and got him in some trouble, and that which was wrong to do. And he came out to attack me, and I opened the door and I stick to him, my big pit bulls on him. And he could have killed him. This man could have gotten killed. And those dogs I sicked on him, those dogs were dogs intentionally designed to hurt people. Now, I'm not saying go out and hurt people. Generally, they were designed as guard dogs. They were trained to be guards. And those, if they had got their hand, able to kill them easily. They're big dogs. But anyway, that was my intention, to kill them when I opened up that door. So, thank God he got to the car, was able to shut the door, and took off. So, from there, now I'm thinking, the devil's still in my head now. He's the one that told me to contact the job, which I didn't have to do. If he was going to get caught, he was going to be caught on his own terms. It's none of my business, because I didn't like the guy. And not liking the guy, basically, I should have started from there, but talking about, you know what, I don't have a right to dislike this guy. You know, if he has hatred toward me, let me give it to God. I should have did that from the door, but I didn't. I let it fester. So now I don't like the guy. Now the devil's in my head trying to figure out ways how to do something wrong to him. So then I go in and I contact his job, which reflects to him coming to go see me, because he know where it came from. The only one that blocked got cameras, and the only one that could have recorded his vehicle where it was at in front of his house. So then now I open up the door to stick these big dogs onto him, which escalate the whole situation, because now he's in the car thinking, man, this guy contacted the witchman on me, and he tried to kill me with his dogs, because that's what I would have thought. Then these two big dogs, and I'm thinking you're trying to kill me. So now he's coming into his, I'm watching on camera when he comes in, I guess, because I don't want to bump into him. He's a pretty big guy at the end of the day. I don't want to bump into him, so I'm watching him when he comes in and out. And at the same time, I'm carrying a firearm on me, which again, here comes the devil. Like, you know what, you're going to bump into this guy. You know you can't take him. Go carry your gun. So now I got a firearm, which means if he comes up to me, I'm definitely going to fire a round into him. And there you go. Look at that. Look how fast it's escalated that quick. How the devil talks to people back and forth to get this going. And in the back of his mind, he's probably telling him at the end of the day, you got to go handle this nonsense in the day. You got to kick his behind, because he can't be going and calling your job and all that. That's how that all escalated. Look at the game he's playing at the end of the day. And all this is going on. I'm fighting with. I'm seeing the two sides of my life that's in battle. I'm seeing me talking to the Lord. I see me talking to the demons. This is going back and forth. There's a little war that's going on in my head. And the back of my mind saying, you know you're wrong. You know you're wrong. You know you're wrong. You should have not called that job. That's none of your business. That's between him and his job. No one gave you the right to do that. You got to go apologize. That's what you got to do. And then that part, the devil comes like, you ain't apologizing. Ain't no way in the world we're going to make him think at the end of the day you're that weak. You go apologize to him, he's going to forever think you're weak at the end of the day. You got no protection. I mean, he's going to attack you. No, he's not going to attack you. Because the minute you basically go apologize, God now can protect you from the demon that's in him. But you don't see that. That pride starts setting in, and you start thinking at the end of the day that I'm not going to go apologize. I'm going to keep on carrying this firearm, which could lead to even worse stuff, because you could nip it in the butt, but you keep on going with it. So I had an extremely powerful gaming system, big speakers, all that stuff, concert stuff in my crib. And when I turn this thing up, you can literally filter someone's apartment with this sound system easily. I even had speakers wired outside, but I had to point it in his direction. That's why I pointed all my speakers in his direction. That I knew that when he came in to sleep, when I turned that system on, he couldn't sleep. I seen him out there on the balcony. I had cameras all over my house. I seen him on the balcony, upset, screaming and yelling about how he can't sleep because my system is filtering his apartment. And I would play music that I know he didn't like heavy metal. You play heavy metal, yeah, you didn't get much sleep. A lot of had deep heavy metal, no. So I did that on purpose. Every time he went to sleep, I turned that thing up. I'm not gonna walk over to here. Got a house full of pit bulls that carry firearms. I'm not walking over here. So I knew that from the door. So I come out on the porch and I stare at him. I pull my jacket up and I show my firearm, and he turned and walked and get into the car. Now I'm threatening his life. See, devil, keep messing with you. Keep telling you dumb stuff to do, and you keep doing it. Now I seen him on the security camera. Devil says, go out there. Let him know you're not afraid of him. Show who's boss. So now I walk outside, and the Lord's telling me, stop doing this. This is escalating. This is going too far. You need to give this to me. And the devil said, don't do that, because it's going to show you weak at the end of the day. You got to show who's boss. So I walk outside. He looks at me. I pull up my jacket. He sees the firearm. He looks in a different direction. Now I'm walking over toward him, because now I'm taunting him. Now I see, you fear me. I'm going to keep pushing this thing. The devil said, go walk over to him. Show him who's boss at the end of the day. I was about to open my mouth and say, I'll lay you down right here if you want to do this today. I was about to say it, and the Lord caught me. Nothing came out. See how fast the devil will trigger stuff off? This man got a big family too. Got a lot of well-known family members. I got a big family too. Got a big family also. So, I could have pulled them into this very easily. I didn't go back and tell them, hey, I got a problem with this guy next door. I need him to go disappear. And he would have just disappeared. Now, I'd have got them involved in some dumb nonsense. And all of this triggered off, all of this escalated over a phone call to his job that I did not have to get involved in. See how fast all that escalated that quick? And now we're in this situation now. So now I'm going back and forth. The devil's playing this in my head over and over again about him trying to grab me. Because when he came after me, I fell on the stairs and he tried to grab my leg, but I was able to fall and hit the door open. The pit bulls came out. That's what upset me, the fact he touched me. He touched you, put his hands on you, he got to die for this. Because now the devil's in my head talking about, now they went from arguing to killing him. To saying the devil was in my head telling me that he's got to pay for this. How dare he touch you at the end of the day? How dare he put his hands on you at the end of the day? Does he know exactly who you are? Do you know who your family's tied to? Does he know better than this? He's got to learn. You got to teach him. This is what the devil's teaching me, telling me in my head. And the meanwhile, the Lord's telling me, just stop listening to this demon. Give it to me. Release this hatred. At this particular point, that hatred now becomes that person. The devil makes you believe that the hatred makes you stronger. It doesn't make you strong, it makes you weaker. That's what it does. It makes you weak. What makes you strong is going and apologizing for what you did. That's what makes you strong. But now the devil's got it festering. Now I got this war going off in my head. I got the Lord telling me this. I got the devil telling me this. I got the Lord telling me this. I got the devil telling me this. And meanwhile, I'm in the middle of all this. Like, I got to do what's right. Because I don't want this to escalate and go into something crazy. But I don't want this guy to think I'm a punk at the end of the day. Like, I got to do something. Like, I either got to hurt him, but I got to hurt him in a way where I can't. But I'm not supposed to touch him. And it all goes back and forth. I was literally having a war inside my head. And that's where I saw it. That's why I saw the games of Satan, and I saw the promises of God that tries to fix and level out your life. I saw that in my head. I'll never forget that as long as I live. That was a lesson. I had to go through that trials and tribulations. I had to go through that to understand how the devil functions. And that's what I see in you guys. I see it. So I see what you're going through. I see what you're doing. Does this make you at the end of the day, and it's no. You're in a dangerous situation. You're in an extremely dangerous situation. Because if the devil can't get you to try to do something to me, he's going to figure out other ways. And other people will come into your life that are designed, and whatever they may be, demons or whatever they are designed to finish his job. You're in danger. So, long story short, of course, it's a long story to begin with. That played onto my head for about 6 days. 6 days of that madness in my head going on. Trying to figure out how to handle this situation. I'm intimidating the guy, but yet in the part of me, I know it's wrong. So finally, as I'm sitting there, I'm tired of this game and I can't take it anymore. And I decided to tell Satan today, I'm done. We're not doing this game anymore. We're finished. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to apologize to this guy because I was wrong. I should have did what I did. And I could feel the devil's claws trying to dig into me, telling me, repeating that process if I'm grabbing my feet. Just repeating it. And I could feel it. I started walking out that door toward him because I seen him on the balcony out there with one of his kids. And I'm walking out there. I can feel the devil pulling at me. Don't do that. What's wrong with you? Don't go out there and tell him that. Are you crazy? He's going to think you're weak at the end of the day. You got to take care of this. And I'm walking up, not listening to him, following God. And when I got out there and I saw him, I apologized. I said, look, my man, my fault, my bad. It didn't have to go this far out. I had no business carrying on the way I did. I'm the one that went out and called your job. It's not my business to do so. What you do is for you. My bad, I apologize. And he turned around and said, now he could have sat there and said in the day, well, we're going to finish this. Like, da. Now, if he had said that, what had happened is, as long as I said my apology, walked away, that's between him and God now. And whatever demons in him, it's now saying, well, we can't touch him. Because they know the devil can't touch me. Because I've already given up that part. I've walked away from it. I gave it to God. So that means what happens is that person is, now the devil figures out, has to recalibrate his plan. Okay, that didn't work out the way I thought it was going to work out. So he walked away and gave it to God. So I technically can't touch him because he's protected by Jesus. He can't go near me. So let me figure a way how to get rid of this guy. Let's see if I can get him into a fight with somebody in this neighborhood, or maybe get into an argument with some on the road and somebody will kill him. That's literally what happens. He recalibrates his plans. In the back of your mind, here comes that devil come running in your head. Even after you apologize to him, man, you put yourself in danger now. This guy's going to try to come out and kill you. He knows that you're weak. And there you go. You come in there, just whisper with him. Nah, man, I'm good. I'm good. I'm going to put it in God's hand. I'm going to put it God. I'm going to trust in God to protect me in this whole entire ordeal. Not one hair on your head will ever be touched, but that destruction will fall upon him. Because now the devil is playing the same game. He was messing with you. He's messing with him now. And he may not take God's advice. He may be driving on the side of the road, got that hot temper of his, get upset, get angry, yell at some guy, and some guy may have a gun in his glove compartment, and the devil could be talking to him like, man, I'm talking to you like that. Go and blow his brains out. And the guy walk out of the car and kill him. So now he's dead. Other guy's going to jail. Now he's in jail. And he's sitting up there, and another guy will be like, hey, that guy over there, why don't you go over there and take something off his plate? Or, let's just bully and harass him. So now he's being bullied and harassed in prison. There you go. It's a game that constantly is played all day long. And as you guys are popping through like a vending machine, he's like, oh, got me another one. Look at this one right here. Wow. Well, you belong to me now. He's taking you guys like a vending machine. And that's what I learned, not to entertain the devil. Because I went through 6 days of entertaining that demon. And I seen the things he was saying, what he was talking. I saw all that. And then I seen the Lord constantly speaking to me. Don't do this. Stay away from that. Don't do this. Am I listening? No. And that's what you guys are doing right now. Your outcome is bad. It's extremely bad. One of you is going to be going through it. I said it right there. In the YouTube, I said it in the garage. I had a prediction. I said I saw you guys in court. I also saw that you guys will be under judgment in 2025. And now look at 2025. We have all your information. We have court dates that are going to be coming up. We have lawsuits going through. Some of you will be spending some time in behind bars for the crimes you committed. It is. You got to accept what it is. You're not going to get away from it scot-free, and you still can't get away from it scot-free. You still got to pay through God's judgment. You got judgment of the land, and you got judgment of God. You still have to pay through judgment of God, and that's eternal damnation in hell. And then on top of that, you don't even know how much time you have here. Just because you wake up tomorrow doesn't mean you come back in the next day. It doesn't. You don't know. Just because you wake up the next day and go, oh, another beautiful day. Yeah, it is. But that beautiful day can turn into a different type of day. You can walk outside and be struck by a car. There's a number of things that can happen to you out there. Even the very food you eat can kill you. So with that being said, that you need God's blessings 24/7, but you're out there doing the devil's work, and you're in a very dangerous situation. And now, gentlemen, you have gone out and you have attacked a Christian man. You have attacked a Christian family at the end of the day. God protects his people at the end of the day. You're under judgment. Have you got on your knees? Have you repented to God? You have not done any of that, have you? Jamie clearly hasn't done that. From what I've seen from the acts he's committing with the counterfeiting, and again, I can't express this enough, it's stealing. Can't take something that doesn't belong to you and profit off of it, because that's what you did, and then had a nerve to put down in the video caption, blessed. How's that God's blessing? So if God blesses the evil, he blesses people who are evil, who steal, who rob, and we're in a lot of danger. We are in a lot of danger right now. And we're in serious danger. You're talking about a supreme being that basically just a mere thought can wipe the earth's existing off the planet. And tanks, weapons, presidents, dictators, I don't care what it is. You're not surviving that. The only reason why we're still here is because God's grace. That's it. If he decides we're here no more, we are here no more. What can we do? What power do we have to take out God? We realize that when we're about to die. How much power is a rich man who sits there and has the ability to lift up his hand and cause life and death? Who has the ability to be able to control countries, to have that type of power. But when the day comes and he sits on his bed, a frail old man, waiting to receive his last breath, how much power does he have? He can't add anything to change that situation. All the money in the world, all the power, the armies can't change his situation. He's going to die. Nobody on this earth is promised forever life on this planet. So how much power do you have? You know, it's interesting how God has to remind us how small we are by giving us great storms. How much power is the U.S. military? Let's say the most powerful military in the world, right? Say we get a tsunami that's over 6,000, 10,000 feet tall. That's traveling toward the U.S. How do we stop something like that? Can't. Only thing we do is brace for death. That's all we can do. Can't stop it. It's virtually impossible to stop something like that. We're going to blow it with a bomb? It ain't going to help. And send armies out to destroy it? Man, it ain't going to work. What are you going to do? The only person who can stop that is God. So how strong are you now? You got a meteor coming to the earth about half the moon. You know what that's going to do if it makes impact with the earth, right? How do you stop something like that? Yeah, it definitely can't blow it up. You definitely don't want that. And you got fragments of it coming at your planet, even more, even bigger fragments. You don't want that. So what do? How do you handle that situation? Can't. All you can do is accept death. That's all you can accept. So that shows you how much power you have. You don't have any power at all. You have nothing at all. But the devil gets in your head and makes you believe you got all this power and all this strength and da-da-da-da-da-da. You don't have any power. These dictators that sit up here with all this power and ability, and they can sit there and have a heart attack. How much power do you have when something that small inside your chest, your heart, decides to go whoop, stop working? Or you rely on your doctors, but your doctors can only do so much. They're not miracle workers. They're not going to bring back the dead. Only Jesus can do that. So it's your time, your time. So that shows you that today you are much more like the song goes, candle in the wind. You are frail. That's all you are. You have no idea how frail you are. The only reason why you have the ability to even get up every single day because God allowed you to do so. That's it. So imagine if the Lord was a Lord about evil. Imagine if he was a Lord about revenge, destruction, and all that. Just we'd be dead. We'd be gone. We'd be gone a long time ago. We'd been gone. Definitely be gone. But he's not that person. God doesn't know evil. Now God knows vengeance. Yes, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. Because God does revenge his people. He does. He's a man of judgment. He's like I say, man, but he's a man. He's a God of judgment. He's nowhere near man's status. He knows judgment. He's judgment. That's why we have a hell. Because that's where all the bad people are going. You're going to hell. That's where you're going. So, if God was a person who was evil and did not keep his promises, can you imagine God didn't keep his promises? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine he sat there and said, like, what is the point of sending my son down to earth? These people are ungrateful. They don't serve me. They freaking use my name in vain. They cheat. They steal. They rob. They murder. They do all this stuff at the end of the day. Like, why in the world do I even deal with these people at the end of the day? I'm going to send my son down there to be sacrificed, beaten, spit on, just treated like garbage so we could save these people? Why? Why would I do this? Think about that. Would you send your son to be murdered, to be beaten, to be sacrificed, to be spit on? You know the evil things they did to Jesus? Would you send your son out there to a bunch of people that some may accept him, but the rest of them won't? But down through time, they'll make jokes about him. People dress up like Jesus and make jokes and all that stuff. Dangerous, extremely dangerous. They think God's a joke at the end of the day. They take his name in vain. They got a nerve to say blessings to other people when they have hatred in their hearts with Satan. Why would you send your son to that? Why would you do that? I'm not giving my son these people. People don't deserve this at the end of the day. Oh, heck no. Let them all burn. I don't care. Now, imagine if God thought like that. That means that you haters out there wouldn't exist. None of us would exist. At all, period. But yet, he loved us so much that he sent his son down. He knew there were people that were going to accept him at the end of the day, and he knew there were people that were going to accept him. I am thankful that he did send his son down because that gave me the opportunity to get saved and become a Christian man. And that's where I got open opportunities. Open opportunity. Open opportunities. No. Open opportunities to become saved by Jesus. Opportunities. Because I couldn't imagine if I had died out in them streets. Imagine if God did not give me opportunity and I died out in the streets. Imagine the devil got his way. I wouldn't be having this conversation with you right now. I'd have been long gone a long time ago. I was in Violent Neighborhood. I was in Strawberry Mansion in the 80s. You talk to anybody from North Philly and they're like, good gracious, you grew up where? Strawberry Mansion in the 80s. When crack first came out, I watched entire families get obliterated from that stuff. I watched people who had amazing jobs reduced into zombies. I watched entire households crumble, turn to prostitution. I watched young boys throw away their future and sell drugs on the streets. I watched funeral after funeral after funeral after funeral after funeral of droves of young men being murdered. I watched it all. I saw all that with my own eyes. Somebody shake their hand one day, next minute you're carrying the coffin the next day. Watched all that. I watched respectable women in the neighborhood. Like I said, good jobs. This woman had a good job. She was a banker. She made good money. She drove a nice car. New suits every single day. Got the hair done, nails done, with briefcase, all that. Every single day, looking sharp as a tack. Went to a party. Got introduced to some new drug. And people think at the end of the day, I can kick it. And you can't kick that stuff. It's rare people can kick the crack. And she took it. Developed a habit for it. Less time at work, more time at them crack houses. Less time at work, got fired from her job. She don't care, she's on that high now. Now she's out there selling her body to get that drug at the end of the day. And when their bodies are reduced down to a zombie state, or they're in that zombie apocalypse state, now they sweep floors, they wash cars, just to get that money. I watched two people who had very high-staking jobs, good jobs, made good money, good money, out there burnt out washing people's cars. And I watched their sons, which I was good friends with, watching that mess go down. Can you imagine that? That's your mom out there washing someone's car. I remember getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning when my buddies come by to see me and say, yo, I need some help. And I said, what you need? He said, I gotta go get my mom. I think she's in one of these houses over here. I don't know where she at. He's 16. I gotta go grab my piece and I gotta go walk from house to house to figure out where she's at. Turning tricks to bring her home. Imagine that. Yeah, people live in a suburban life. This is what I find interesting about people living a suburban life. People live a suburban life that listen to gangster music and they want to wear do-rags and wear the pants and anything. No, you please. Not even anywhere near in the realm of understanding what that life was all about. And there's nothing to do with style at all, period, of how you dress. It's basically a way of life, of living. I watch murders. I watch people who basically have committed suicide because they couldn't handle it because their loved one was out in the street sleeping with other men and they couldn't take it and kill themselves or kill other people in the process. Oh, all kinds of destruction. You wouldn't believe. Yeah, every day. It's everyday stuff. Get used to it. Get sensitized to it. You get to a point, it's an everyday part of life. But I watched Satan firsthand and that destruction of all the murders and women committing prostituting and just all kinds of stuff. Like, and that guy sat there, I watched this documentary about this guy. Very intelligent. People think that, oh, it's just all black people. No, it's all races take crack. It's all races, all type of people. And it doesn't have to be somebody in the hood. I've seen people, very educated people who have master's degrees and bachelor's degrees, just got caught on that stuff. But there was a guy who talked about it. I watched this documentary. I found it very interesting. Now, this is a man that had a very high IQ. This man worked for NASA. Black man, very high IQ, very well educated, very well paid. 6 figures, he paid. Blew through his money, blew through his savings. Lost all his connections because he got hooked on crack. He hooked on crack, he went to a party one night, and that's how he got introduced to it. Some girl gave it to him, and he took it. And the high and sensation, I guess, was so fantastic for him, he kept going back. And that night, he told the guy, the reporter, he spent $1,600 on this drug. And then it kept escalating. And he could get loans and stuff like that, because again, a man of a lot of power, a man that had a lot of credit, he easily get money out of the bank for that, because, you know, he's good for it. But this is how fast Satan spirals him down this road. Satan uses drugs, alcohol, stuff like that to destroy people's lives. That's what he does. He says weapons of war. That's what he uses. And I watched, and I said families spiral into darkness. I watched it go down. You know. So, yeah, he went out and, long story short, he got burnt out, and he talked about what he saw in his crack houses. And he wasn't joking, because we've seen that stuff for our own eyes. We've seen people walk, we in the hood. I've seen police officers walk in those houses. I've seen people from fire department. They'll still have the uniform on and everything. Don't care. I've seen people from medical, what do you call them at the end of the day? People that drive the emergency vehicles. I can't think of offhand. Yeah, we see all types of people walking down them places. Young girls as young as 14, 15, 12 on crack. Why do you know? Yep. Oh yeah, walking in and out of them houses. And you can walk past those houses at nighttime and you see them lighting up. You see the lighters flickering off and the crack pipes lighting up back there. You can see all that in them houses. That little crackhead's back in the house smoking again. Somebody throw something in there and get him out of there. They throw a couple bricks in there to get him out of there. Yeah, smoked up on them crack houses. Yep, young people in there. Yep, old people in there, people of high. The crack don't discriminate. People think that, oh, your crack is just for black people, blah, 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 blah. And black crack tax, you got people on college campus. I saw that too. I seen people come in to North Philly. This is when North Philly, at that particular time, I was on Park Avenue. I was in that section. Park Avenue wasn't as bad as Strawberry Mansion. It was still bad. People still got murdered over there. But anyway, in that particular time, Park Avenue was so violent that Temple University did not tread over the Park Avenue. Police didn't even come in that section at one point because it was that violent. Hey, cop come through, that's a death sentence for them. It's not a death sentence. No one fears police over there. No. It's more of us than there is you. You know what I'm saying? That's the mentality they have in there. So yeah, it's kind of like a street justice. They handle their own business in there. But anyway, Temple was not, it had no jurisdiction. So for a Temple officer to be in it, it was a death sentence. But anyway, long story short. So I seen college kids come in. College kids come in to get drugs. Sometimes they're under pressure and stress and from college and this, that, and the other. And this is why a lot of college kids sometimes end up becoming alcoholics and drinking and carrying on. Sometimes to deal with that stress they're going through. You know, you're in a make or break situation. You know, you got a lot of money, a lot of debt you got to pay up. If you mess up, you don't get that job you're supposed to get, you're going to pay this money up forever. You don't need debt. There's a lot of stress at the end of the day. You fail these classes and stuff and can't figure out what your future is going to be all about. And there's a lot of stress going on in their heads right now. You know, young adults going through some craziness. But sometimes that's where they go out and they do stuff at the end of the day that pretty much can ruin their life. And we saw a college couple come in and get crack. And the sad thing about it is both of them got smoked out. Imagine that. That's the sad thing. One of the sad things I've seen. You come down to go to school, get an education, so you can get married and have kids and all of that, and you end up in a situation where both of you are on drugs. She's out selling her body to support both of them, and he's out there all smoked out, washing cars and stuff, just like that. And then later on, they separated, and she ended up messing with some guy, and he ended up pimping her out. It messed up, ain't it? Yeah, that crazy stuff goes on. Yep. You just look at it and just shake your head and just, what can you do? I played hockey. I wanted to go play hockey. That's how I escaped the neighborhood. I played hockey. I was over downtown hanging out with these people, you know, people doing something positive with their lives, and I was up there hanging out with them, chilling with them. I just didn't like the neighborhood. I didn't want to be a part of it. That's how I got myself separate from it all. But anyway, yeah, I watched that. Couple just destroyed by that mess. All the devil, all Satan over there on his job at the end of the day. Anyway, yeah, and college kids get hooked on that stuff. Some of them got to be careful because they're kind of gonna lace your weed with it. They don't know, because to a dealer at the end of the day, that's a client. You know what I mean? You don't know. You got no family down here. They're gonna do it to somebody down here. You get yourself killed. You lay somebody's stuff and they may come back with somebody that may be connected in the neighborhood. You may have some problems on your hands after that. You did what? You lay something, yeah, that'll get you hurt real quick. They know who to mess and who not to mess with. So they'll get somebody basically has no connections down here. You're a college kid, you've been down here in Philadelphia, you got no family down here, no people, nothing whatsoever. Hey, you might get yourself laced, depending on who you're dealing with. I had a lot of friends that are drug dealers. So you could get yourself lazy. That's a potential customer that's going to come back. He's going to want that urge, whatever it kicked off, and that weed, he's going to want it. And you're going to give him a little bit of that crack. So I got something here close enough to it. You may want to try this at the end of the day. And they try to get hooked on a potential customer. Yep. But anyway, that's kind of sad too. All those people. None of them saved. Every single one of them is burning right now. They passed on. That's a lot of people died. Yep. A lot of them died. I had to think about that for a minute, on how much of a grip Satan had in that neighborhood. That's my mom prayed every single day when we was in the neighborhood. There's some of the violent neighborhoods. She had 10 kids. Imagine seeing all your kids leave. They got terrifying they had to be for her. We didn't know. We knew the neighborhood was violent. But, we're kids in the day. We kind of blend and play with these people all day long. We're good. We know exactly where to go or not to go. But we still were getting killed. But imagine as a mother, when you raise kids in a violent neighborhood, scared to death that they're going to be that one out in the street getting shot. Because somebody's got to. The sad thing about it, that's how it is. Somebody's going to roll the dice, someone's going to lose, and somebody's going to win. That's how it works. So someone's kid is going to be out there killed. And I've witnessed that too many times. I witnessed a lot of my friends get murdered. So, yeah, somebody's going to have to be that person. It could be my number today when I get up. That could be my number. It could be my buddy's number the next day. You don't know. You roll the dice. That's why I sit there and tell you at the end of the day, you're not promised tomorrow. No one's promised tomorrow at all. Meanwhile, Satan plays this game at the end of the day. You just don't know when your time is going to be. I remember a man, I just shook his hand. He just got married. They've been together for about roughly 10 years. They're both really big people, heavy people. They've been together for 10 years. And then they got married. They tied a knot. They went to Las Vegas, had a honeymoon, whatever. He died the next day. I just shook his hand. He was just there. I was just having a conversation with him. I was congratulating him on his new marriage and everything. I'm so happy for you. The next day, he's gone. Just like that. Not even here anymore. Gone. You're not promised tomorrow. If it wasn't a saved man, if you didn't walk with God, you go to hell. That's where you go. There's no second chances over there. There's none. There's no mercy. There's nothing over there for you. Not a thing. Only but judgment. Now, I'm happy about our opportunities. Lord bless us with the most important opportunity. Not the opportunity in the business, not the opportunity of new technology, not the opportunity of having the things needed to provide to make our company run. He gave us the opportunity of salvation. That's the biggest opportunity that I've had in my life, is salvation. And the ability to be able to be saved. When Jesus first came here, it wasn't for us. It was for God's chosen people. The enter into the kingdom of heaven was not for us. It was for the Jews. God's chosen. They didn't want to accept it. So God opened the door for all. Imagine that at the end of the day. Imagine you think about it, if the Jews had accepted that, we would be outside of that. We wouldn't be able to get saved. Only the Jews would get saved. So now what we did, we were going to burn with the devil. And the Lord made it so that we all have opportunity. And then for some people to get mad and go, well, you should. Who are you to judge the Creator? Then he does what he wants to do. He's God. But the beautiful thing about it is all the power he has in the day, he can't lie and he can't take back anything that he does. He can't do it. That's why I tell people, you haters out there, you people full of hatred, anger, bitterness, all that, you're in bed with the devil. You may think that I got goals, I'm going to college, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. No. And devil, in Satan's eyes, you don't have any of that. You have death waiting for you. Because he's going to kill you. He's definitely going to kill you. That's no doubt about it. He's definitely going to kill you. He's going to try. Oh, he's definitely going to try. He's going to do a good job of it too, trying to kill you. He's going to do a good job. He may be successful. He may be. Some people are not everybody's going to heaven. It's written in the book. Not everybody's going to heaven. There's some people that are going to go to hell. And there are some people that are going to go to heaven. That's the way. It's a certain number. You just don't want to be on the other side of the number. But yeah, that's what you deal with. Forget, your college life. And I understand you got college and all that. You want to go to school and get a good job, whatever. You want to go to trade school, whatever you're doing at the end of the day. You're a future. I got a bright, beautiful future. You don't have a future without God. You don't understand the big part of it all. You win the lottery, you get all this money at the end of the day. Oh, I'm rich. I got not to worry about anything ever again. Oh, yes, you do. You got a lot to worry about. You got demons stalking you. He's going to do everything in his power to kill you. You're living for this life. That's what you're living for. You're not worried about the next life. The demon already knows about the next life. He's quite aware of the next life. He knows over there, God can't save you. There's no mercy for you whatsoever. That he knows that he'll be able to have you for himself 100%, and nothing is going to get in the way of him taking you. He knows it. Over here, different story. There's a good chance he'll lose you over here. There's a good chance you may find God. There's a good chance you may listen to Jesus and get saved and pick up that cross and start carrying it, become a warrior of God, and become an enemy of the devil. He knows that can happen here. He's terrified here because he knows his power is limited here. But in the next world, you're in trouble. That's his world. That's where you're going to be at. That's God's world also too, but you're not going to be on the side of God. You're going to be on the side of the devil. There's some people going to run. They're going to go wake up in the next life, and they're going to see Jesus out there in the distance. What are you going to do? Run to Jesus, ain't you? Run to him, aren't you? To run over to him. But you weren't running to him on this world. You weren't running to him. You were too busy out partying, drinking, and smoking, and having fun, and carrying on, and acting up, and doing all what you want to do, hating people, and trying to destroy other people's lives, and spreading nasty rumors about people. You're doing all that, right? But now in the next life, here you are running as fast as you can to get to Jesus. If I can get to him, I know that demon's behind me, I can hear it. But that's the guy you was listening to the entire time. Why are you running from him? You were in bed with him the whole time. Now you don't know him. Now you don't want to be friends with him. You don't want to walk over and say hi to that hideous, God knows whatever that thing looks like, which I hope I never see. Is that the person you're running from? Why are you running from him now? You weren't running from when you were out there spreading nasty rumors about your neighbors. You went out there when you were sleeping with somebody else's wife. You weren't running from him when you were out there robbing banks and robbing people and stealing and cheating and murdering people. You weren't running from him. But now, in the next life, you're running from him. You're terrified. You don't want to go to that voice that's calling you in that darkness. And here you are running out to the light, screaming out to the Lord, calling out his name. Drop down at his feet and look up and see his beautiful heavenly face and say, Lord, 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 save me. Save me from that back there. Save me from it. And the Lord's going to look down and look at you and say, I don't know you. Who are you? And he doesn't. You know what's back there. The Lord disappeared, and it all go into darkness, and whatever's back there is now coming towards you. And there's nothing you can do about it. And remember, this is going to be eternity, forever. Forever. It'll never end. That's what you guys are setting. These are people, women, men, or whatever, this is what you set yourself up for. And then the scary part about it is people who think that they're Christians and they're doing all the things of the world, still doing the things of the world. The Lord's warning you, but you don't listen. You want to be that person. You don't want to give up those things of the world, and you make yourself believe that you're doing an act of God, and you're not. You're so far from Jesus, it's not even funny how far you are. That's the scary part for those people. And then using the word blessings while you're doing the devil's work. Fernando, so you understand this. It says in the Bible that you can't sit at a table with demons and angels at the same time. It must be one or the other, which means you can't basically be a man of sin and basically talk about God. It doesn't work that way. Can you get polluted water and fresh water from the same well? You can't. It has to be one or the other. That's like I say if you had a can of paint. You can't get red paint and blue paint from the same can. It has to be one or the other. Either it has to be red or it has to be blue, but it can't be both. So when you do that and you put out blessings as you are committing the devil's work, that's what you do. The thing about it is you don't have any blessings. You have curses. That's what you have. God can't bless you on that. If God blesses you on going out and counterfeiting, going out and committing crimes, stealing, which is in the 10 Commandments under the 8th, that says, thou shalt not steal, right? God put it there for a reason. He put it there because he doesn't like stealing. He hates stealing. It's a sin. God hates sin. So you are printing out people's items, using that as an example, and you are stealing from companies. Did you contact any of these businesses? Did you tell them what you were doing? Do they know about the money you're making off their items? They don't know about this, right? So that means that would be stealing, right? You can't be honest with that blessing. So with that being said, how are you being blessed from God if you're stealing? You're breaking the 8th commandment. How is that possible? Some man is trying to get polluted water and fresh water from the same well. It's not going to happen. So you're not blessed. You cursed yourself. And then from what I've read on these machines in the day, which I'm curious, I read these machines. I was thinking about getting one of myself until I saw where it said it gives off a harmful kind of particles. I said, no, I can't go near that. That terrifies me because that's what I went through the mold poisoning. The particles got caught up in my lungs and I got sick. So that's why I wouldn't go near 3D printers at all. So, from what I read on those machines, particularly his model also too, those machines are supposed to be, encased inside of a plastic unit with an exhaust system attached to it. Because those fumes inside that case can kill you. So that's why they have those cases on them. And him being obsessed with greed and money. Again, you can have money with blessings from God, but it's the way you do it. And again, you were stealing. You were committing a sin against God. That came with a curse. You breathed in poison that came from that machine that potentially, and hopefully it didn't, cause you some very serious health issues. See what being in the bed with the devil will do? And then he'll get mad at us because he says, well, you don't have the right to go in and file charges against me for stealing. Well, yes, we do. You are stealing. What kind of man of God will I be at the end of the day to allow a person to commit evil and do nothing about it? That's why people get away with evil things, because no one does anything about it. So what kind of man of God would I be? To sit there and let the devil go out there and carry and do what he wants to do, and I'm just going to sit there and go, do nothing about it. I'm going to step and do what has to be done. But he'll take it as, oh, he's doing this because he hates me. There's a devil right there in your mind, right there telling you that. Jamie, if I give the devil, I've been down, I did not already. This is the part you don't understand. I lived a life that you don't know nothing about. I lived a life with demons and angels. I lived that life already. I've learned from experience in life. From my Christian journey, from A to B, I've learned. And I've learned in that journey that when you are entertaining Satan, Satan will set up shop in your home. And I did that for many, many years. That then put me in a situation where you couldn't figure out how to kill me out there. Let's figure out how to kill him someplace else. And I got thrown in prison. And here I am sitting in this prison cell at 16 years old, or roughly almost about going there 17, thinking, gee, this is what Father the devil got me. I can hear now all the voices of all the people who told me, better stay out of trouble, young buck, you're going to go to jail. Better steady up, young buck, you're going to get killed one day. You're going to end up in that prison system. You keep on playing around. And here I am sitting in this prison system, following the devil. And this is what you're doing. You follow Satan. And you think for some strange reason that what the devil tells you to do all these campaigns and come at my family and even come at my cat and just carry at them would cause, we didn't take any damage. We took nothing in. My business is doing well. It's doing better than it's ever done. We have our technology is blessed. It's through the roof. The Lord has represented who his people are. I sat right there in the middle of the floor, made a statement for everybody, YouTube in the world. I said, if I am all these things that everybody claims me to be, then may the Lord out me on who I am. And our technology advanced. This gamer technology took out one of the screens that we just developed. We just made that stuff, and it took out clean. That's the most advanced paint we've ever seen. That stuff is gorgeous. Our other social media channels are blowing up. They're shooting through the roof. Opportunity, doors are opening for us left and right. When I wanted to get my business license, I didn't have to do much. It was automatically signed. One guy just, there you go. There you go, Mr. Bird. God has favoritism. His people have favoritism. God blesses us. He has this umbrella of glory around us. Where people serve the devil, you have nothing but heartache and destruction and curses coming your way. So I know that festering hatred nonsense. You festered that hatred. You're a man of a lot of hatred. And that is extremely dangerous. God knows how many demons have set up shop in your home that are sitting there plotting and trying to figure out ways how to get rid of you and your family. Who knows? But you allowed all that in. And then you want to add in blessings. Take the word of the Lord. That's like the equivalent of walking into a church with a spray paint can, and painting on the walls, Satan. Would you do that? Would you walk into a church and write Satan all over the walls? No, you wouldn't do that. That'd be disrespecting God, wouldn't it? I mean, take that can and spray paint Satan all over inside that church. That'd be disrespecting the Lord. I've seen people who curse every freaking day of their lives and will walk in front of a church and go, sorry, Lord, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to curse in front of the church. Don't say not one curse word as they're walking past it. What are you doing? I'm walking in front of a church at the end of the day. You keep your mouth shut. We don't talk about that kind of stuff. And then when they get past the church, they start talking. That's an interesting topic right there. But they'll have that respect. You can have the hardest thug in North Philly, whatever you're going to be at the end of the day. The minute they cross the church, they're like, oh, no, it's holy ground. We don't. Get together, no cursing. They walk in the church, they take their hats off, sit down, respectful, put their head down, so and so and so. Yeah, while they're in that church. If one of their men were to act up in that church, they'd be ready to take him out. Oh, no, you didn't bring that nonsense on us. That's interesting about that part altogether. You're out there sinning, carrying on, shooting, killing, murdering, whatever you're doing at the end of the day. If the minute you walk into a church, now you have respect for God. But then when you get out there, back to the same business as usual. You know you're judged whether you're in there or whether you're out there. You're still judged. Doesn't make a difference. But anyway, they have that respect line. At least they have that respect line. And Jamie, you have a nerve to say blessings after committing evil acts. It's the same equivalence of you walking into a church with a spray paint and spray painting Satan on the walls. How are you blessed? You're not. You curse yourself. That's what you're doing. Now, can God... It's interesting. This is what I find fascinating. James walking my footsteps. In a way, he is kind of walking my footsteps. I ended up with a lung disease, but again, I was following God. All things happen today. Somebody said, well, if God is so great, why did you have a lung disease? Because it's the testimony. It's unbelievable testimony. It's another way for me to glorify my Lord at the end of the day. I got blessed to move into a house. The house had mold. I breathed in. I could have been killed. This stuff I had in my system could have easily took me out. Could have easily killed me. Nope. Didn't die. Didn't die at all. I passed every single test they put me under, and I watched a disease that's supposed to be 200,000 in the entire world have this disease, and I have it. And I watched my whole entire situation change. I watched me drop all the way down to the bottom, and I watched the Lord build me all the way back up. I watched myself gain weight because I was not a person that was heavy. I was 250 pounds of muscle, and I watched all that reduced in no time at all into a frail individual, then gain all that weight back to be a heavy man at the end of the day. And very unhealthy, not happy at the end of the day. I watched all that. And I went through a lot. I remember feeling the pain in my chest and me taking my hand and resting it on my chest. I believe that 100%. I don't care what anybody says. I believe that when I pray and put things in God's hands and I put my hand on my chest, I can feel that heat coming off my hands. It's gone. Just like that. Because when you have faith in the Lord and you believe that all things are possible in His name, there's anything you could do. And I do believe that. I believe when I put my hand on other people, I don't have that ability, but only for myself. And I put my hand on my chest and I pray and it's gone. Every time I had one of those nodules will pop up in my chest, I put my hand there, gone. Now I go in and get to see a lung doctor. My stuff is in a frozen state. It's not moving, nothing. It's there. It's there, but it's not doing anything. No progress. It's not growing. There's nothing. There's nothing there at all. It's there, but it's like God froze it. I can function like a normal person. I can go out and run and do this and jog and walk and lift weights and do this and run and have fun. And just me talking right now on camera, I would not be able to do this because I couldn't breathe. Just like that. I haven't used inhaler. The last inhaler I used was yesterday because of the allergies when the stuff gets and kind of complicates me a little bit. Gives me a lot of mucus in my chest, and that's what breaks up my mucus in my chest faster than that mucus I don't like to take. Other than that, no, nothing. Doctors are baffled; they can't figure it out. God took care of that. So, as I said before, that Lord has I had to go through that trial and tribulations. And that makes you stronger. Christians, or you're out there and you figure, okay, I'm a Christian, everything in my life's gonna be peaches and cream. Oh no, it's not gonna be peaches and cream. You gotta go through Christian boot camp. We all gotta go through it. This is what makes you a stronger warrior. When you fall and you hit that ground, the Lord's gonna pick you up, dust you off, put you back on your horse, and you're gonna be on your way. And each time you fall, you become stronger. Each time you learn more and more about how God protects you. Okay, you start going back and saying, yeah, remember I went through this, and the Lord brought me through it. So this should be no problem, because the Lord got my back. And each time you go through and you fall, you get stronger and stronger and stronger. Till you get to a point where you don't have any fear at the end of the day about what pops up, because you just sit there and go, well, I'm giving God's hands. I'm good. I ain't gonna worry about this. Why would I worry about it? I watched the Lord put me through all these things I had to go through, Christian boot camp, and now I'm this person at the end of the day where I don't fear it. Don't fear it. You just don't have it there. It's not there anymore. Because you watch the Lord pull you out of some of the most craziest situations, and you came out on top every single time. So why would I doubt you? If I survived, if I was able to walk through a forest fire and survive it without getting burned one time, the Lord did not let one flame to strike me, and I was able to survive all this, breathe perfectly, walk right through it, why would I be afraid of a house fire? I just went through all of that to watch the Lord's glory bring me through a burning 300 acres of burning woods. And now my couch catches on fire. I'm going to fear this? No, that's where your strength comes in, because you don't have that fear. You watch the Lord bring you through much worse. So when I have illnesses pop up, it doesn't bother me. Lord, I can go to the doctor and say, you're going to lose your vision. You're going to go blind. You're not made to see anymore. And I go, no. Put it in God's hands. God got it taken care of. 2020. I went through that. I had the macular degeneration, where something went on my eyes, and it came out of nowhere. I don't know where it came from. And I ended up losing my vision. For a little bit, I was blurred up. And the doctor said, well, people like this who usually have this, they don't see anymore, and they go blind. And I go, well, it'd be the Lord's will, it'd be the Lord's will. But I believe that the Lord is going to take care of it. I have 20/20 vision. Good hearing, too. Extremely good hearing. I guess that comes with it. But yeah. So when people say, if God is so good, why would he stick you in a place that you're going to develop a lung disease from? Because that is the Lord basically showing me at the end of the day that he's got my back 100%. And sometimes we don't learn that. We don't understand it. We don't. Sometimes we have to go through those trials and tribulations to understand how good God is to us. We don't realize how good he is. We really don't. We really don't understand how good he is. Some people take for granted that you wake up the next day. Some people take it for granted that you can come home the next day. Some people take it for granted that the very food that you eat at the end of the day that you don't pray over could kill you. You take all that for granted. You take so much for granted every single day. When you lose your life, you appreciate God so much more. So, yeah, I watched the Lord heal me in a situation where they told me that it was impossible to be done, and I watched it happen. The doctors are all baffled about it. So, I thank the Lord for that opportunity. I don't get mad at him. I sit there and go, oh Lord, you bless me and you stick me in this house and I get sick. This is your fault in the day. No, I thanked him for the opportunity to know him better, to become closer to him, to get a better understanding. That's a blessing for me at the end of the day, to have that opportunity. It's an opportunity to lose it all, to have nothing, to no one to depend on but God. That is a blessing. That's an opportunity. I had that blessing. I lost everything and lived on the street. And to watch the Lord take me from here and bring me from there. That's why I said, from you people at the end of the day that want to come in, and you, especially Mr. Williams, another person walking on very dangerous grounds, Mr. Williams, and you guys want to come in and question my relationship with Jesus. My relationship with Jesus was far before I even knew any of this stuff. Before I knew computers, before I knew screen paints, before I knew YouTube and social media platforms, before I knew any of that. My relationship with God was when I was sitting in the prison system. That's when my relationship started. Did you know me then? You didn't know me, did you? So how would you know my relationship with God if you didn't know me then? How would you know anything about me? So you went out and you said that I was a fake Christian and all this stuff. You cursed yourself. On my end, I don't have to do anything to you. If I sit here today and I make a decision to say, you know what, I'm not going to pursue you. I put it in God's hands. I'll let God take over. The judgment you will go through will be far greater than any lawsuit or any prison time on this earth. I would rather, in my world, have someone sue me, have someone throw me in jail than do with God's judgment. I don't want no part of that. See, you don't see the haters at the end of the day don't see the big picture of it all. You feel that the devil tells you that if you do this and that, you can destroy him. That's what you think, right? And the Lord, on the other hand, is laughing at Satan. As it says in the Bible, evil gnashes his teeth and God laughs. I like that part too. And he's looking at the devil and said, what are you trying to do? That's mine over there. That's my servant. That's mine. Can't touch him. He's protected by me. And you follow a demon at the end of the day that got cast out of heaven and got thrown to the earth because he thought at the end of the day that he could overpower God. So how is he going to tell you to use the weapons of war, I guess he gave you, to try to destroy me at the end of the day when he couldn't even take out God in heaven himself? He was looking at him face to face. He was right there in front of God. He couldn't take him out. That shows you how much power you have. There's no power at all. And what I see in you guys is I see the path that I followed when I was traveling with the devil. I know the demons that he brings into your life. I know how they're embedded around your family members and your friends. These things will even follow you. There's all types of them. And you invited this stuff into your home. The hatred you show us when you harass our phone lines and all that stuff, and you go and you send us hate mail, and you telling me that, say nasty things about my mother, and you say nasty things about my family members and all that stuff like that. That's you with Satan. Does that make me angry at the end of the day? No, I'm not entertaining that. If I entertain that, I allow the devil in. I did that one already with the guy who grabbed my foot. I entertained the devil. That's what I did. So I already know the bed you sleep in. And I also know at the end of the day that your life is not going to be on this earth much longer because we don't have immortality. We have to die. Which means at any given day, any given time, God can call you back. And if you're not saved and you haven't found God, you will meet the one who whispered in your ears. And I guarantee you will not like what they look like. Because at that particular point, when you reach over there, they will show their true form. Over here, they're not going to show you the true form. Why would you follow something like that? Something pop up and you see some demon pop up in the middle of your room. Like, hey, by the way, we're going to do this today. And like, oh, no, the heck we're not. I'm not following you. What the freak are you? And you start running out of there screaming. What are you going to run to? You want to run right to a church, right? So, oh my goodness, I need to be saved. I need to find Jesus. The devil just popped up. And yeah, you're terrified of it. He has to come down and be something that you're not afraid of. But when you die, I don't worry about that anymore. You can see my true form now. Because I got you. You belong to me. There you go. So you guys entertained that demon. That's what you did. When you entertain demons like that, you put yourself at risk. You put your family at risk. You put everything around you at risk. If I'm a Christian and I walk in, Christians have the Holy Ghost. We can tell. We can tell. A true Christian that serves the Lord can tell. We can see it. We can feel it. We know it. I've had people who I've walked and had conversations with. I'll start taking a couple steps back and I'll start praying because I can feel it. I know it's on you. I had two guys coming here, and Satan can be in any form whatsoever, any form. I had two guys coming here. I'm going to tell you where they came from. They were business people that came in here, and I can pick it up on them. I can pick up their dark spirits. I knew exactly what they were. I knew that they traveled with something that wasn't good. And when the meeting was over, I shook their hand. They couldn't harm me because God had my back the entire time. And they left. And man, I got this depression like no other. It was depression. That's a demon. It causes that depression. If I could feel it, like my heart was fluctuating, I could feel that demon just trying to pull at me, trying to take my life. I could feel it. And I prayed. I prayed over this entire office. I prayed over Taco. I prayed down the hallway. I pulled out my Bible and I walked around and I prayed. I cast whatever was in here out of here. Opened up that door, said, you gotta go. And it left. Went and walked over to my sister's house, told her, she prayed over me. We prayed together. Yeah, we got rid of that thing. Gotta be careful. Whatever they're doing in their life, they're inviting whatever is in their life. So people, I'm happy. Opportunity. I got the opportunity to be saved, to find Jesus, to get my life together. A person who hated God, a person who hated Christians, a person who thought God was a joke at the end of the day. But the Lord saved my life. He didn't have to. He didn't have to keep his word at all whatsoever, but he did. And I became a man of God. And for those who came at us to prosecute us and destroy us and all the evil things you did against me, all that's written in the book of life. I know that. Everything you have done is written, but nothing's forgotten. Not one thing you've done is forgotten. God saw everything. You don't get your act together. You don't seek and find God. You're out there still doing those things in the day. You don't know when your next day will come. It doesn't have to be a health issue. It doesn't have to be a car accident. It's just your time. Question is, are you ready? Who are you going to see in that next life when you go pass over? Is it going to be your Heavenly Father, or is it going to be Satan? And the sad thing about it is when I see this hate mail, when I see all this bitterness and angry, even when you comment on YouTube, all that is written in the book of judgment. It's sad. I don't sit there, I guess for them, they feel if we do this stuff to them, it's going to make them angry, make them mad, make them triggered. Jamie has to have a saying, trigger, trigger, trigger. Jamie, there is no trigger at all, period. That's the part you don't understand. All that hatred you have toward me, whatever you try in your day to say my product is a scam or this, that, and the other, you think it makes me angry. You think it makes me angry to steal something off the Lord blessed me to give me the knowledge to write all that stuff in there, and you feel that I'm upset by you taking my specification sheet and you put God bless at the bottom. You know why you put God bless at the bottom? Because you do it as a mockery toward my faith in God. That's why you do it. When somebody puts on a God bless, sincere in their heart, it means that I hope God blesses you. You don't want blessings for me. You hate me. So you hate me at the end of the day. Why would you put down God bless? You put it to mock my religion. That's extremely dangerous what you're doing. In the situation, Fernand, that you're in right now, and I feel it. I know it. Christians have what they call something like a third eye. We can feel, we know things. You're sick. I feel it. It's not basically saying it at the end of the day by saying that I'm doing this because I hate you. I don't have any hatred towards you. Because if I give you hatred, that means I planted a seed for Satan, and I did this life already. I'm not going back to that ever. This is the part that people of sin don't understand. We do not want to ever go back to that world ever again. We don't want nothing to do with it. We want to be as close to Jesus as we possibly can. We want to give him our entire life. My life is God. I do not want to go back to that world ever again. And you think we have hatred for you because you do hatred toward us. No, we feel sorry for you because we know what's coming your way. We know if you don't learn to turn and go in a different direction, you are not going to make it in this world. You will perish here, and you will basically be in eternal damnation in the next world. And I wouldn't wish that on the worst enemy. But you think you're doing damage. You're not doing anything to us. And I will not become that person. I will not be filled with hatred. I will not be that person. I will not give Satan that power, ever. So, I feel, and I'm telling you, and I pray on this, and I pray and ask the Lord, you don't have this. I pray that hopefully these particles never hit your chest, or your heart, or whatever, but I know they did. And you can get on camera, you can laugh, and whatever Satan tells you to do, you can go ahead. But I know they're there. I know you breathe this stuff in. You need to repent. You need to get on your knees and ask for the Lord's forgiveness. You need to walk that path of salvation. Fernando and the rest of you who walk with the devil, you are in extreme danger, and you do not see it. When you take my words of what I said to you as a joke, you laugh about it. It's what the devil's going to have you do. But you are in extreme danger, especially Mr. Williams. You pose as a man of God. You know how dangerous that is? You try to take money, if you haven't already, you stole from God. These are very dangerous acts, gentlemen. All sin is evil. All sin is worthy of death. Some are far worse, but they're all worthy of death. But gentlemen, you're not doing anything to us. And we will not feed into your hatred. And when you say, oh, you keep saying we. Oh, I say we. It was only you. I get that all the time from people that do business. Why do you keep saying we? Me, God, and the cat. That's we. You're putting yourself in harm's way. When you do something to me, and the devil tells you this is going to make him upset, it's going to make him angry. No, it doesn't. It makes me feel sorry for you because I know where you're going. Well, that's the best I can do right there at the end of the day. Yesterday, I'm listening to Family Radio. Oh, I love Family Radio so much. Good Bible teachings. I'm listening to Family Radio. I'm going to start posting on all my sites, Family Radio. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself as I'm talking with the Lord, Lord, what can I do to serve you better? What can I do to serve you better? You start thinking about the everyday things in your life aren't important anymore. They're not. All this is not important. This is just something for us to have it, and that's all it is. But it's not important. What's important is what we can do to serve God better. What can I do in my life? My life. Can you use my life to get the word out about Jesus? Can you use my life? And that's what I'm praying on. I'm praying on the Lord, teach me different ways to take what I have, what you've given to me, to be able to talk more about Jesus. And that's what I'm going to start doing on this YouTube channel, whether people like it or not, whether people unsubscribe, whether people don't want to listen anymore. I'm going to work on giving more of my life to Jesus. Because I feel like it's never enough. It's never enough. I printed out God Love You tracks. I want to get the t-shirts made. I want hoodies made. I want hats made. I'm starting to donate money over to Family Radio because they got Bible teaching. And the Bible teaching, they make these Bibles in translation where they can basically give it to other people around the world. People need to know about God. If they don't, that's the most horrible thing I could ever think of in the world is a man or a woman dying without knowing about God. That's horrible. So the word needs to be out. But I thought that I was listening to the Bible and I was listening to the scriptures and everything from Family Radio, which is good teaching. And I learned right there and then, and I said, Lord, use my life to get the word of God out. Use my life. So this technology I have here is my blessing, and it is my blessing from my Lord. I'm going to use this technology to get the word out even more. Even more. When I have my screens put up, and we're blessed to have them through Allentown, we're going to flash Family Radio. We're going to put scriptures up there for them to read before we show movies and stuff like that. That's what I want to do. I wonder if I can pick and choose the movies at the end of the day. So you can't do that. That's one you don't have control over that. Man, that would be nice. Just movies and good movies without the violent killing and all that stuff in it. But anyway, you got under control about so much. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I told you I got plans. The Lord has plans for my business. He has plans for it. He does. And I see the devil ripping, raging, and carrying on, trying to destroy, trying to take our blessings. I see you. I see what God also sees you too. You can't stop us. All your campaigns on trying to make nasty statements, you can't stop us. You know who came up with the idea for the contract? God did. God said, well, hey, if they feel at the end of the day that your blessings that are given to you are so fake, take them to court. And that's what we're going to do. Anybody who feels that Mr. Bird and my blessings that I get from my Lord and Savior, everything we do here, you feel is fake, then you have no problem signing a document and meeting us down here in Allentown, Pennsylvania, in front of the magistrate for court. Now, any company's going to do this, and we have the right to do this. If you feel that you don't want to sign this document and you want to continue on your channel, carrying on and acting up and saying things that are not true, then we are going to get a court order to challenge you in court on the things you said about our company. Because I'm going to protect my blessings at the end of the day. So, when those lawsuits come out, I'm going to pray and ask the Lord how we handle these lawsuits. I think these lawsuits have to be handled differently. I want to make sure the devil has nothing to do with this. This is not being fueled by rage or anger. I want to make sure God has control over all things. If the Lord tells us that we take your house, we take your house. If the Lord says we don't take your house, we don't take your house. If the Lord says we work out a payment arrangement with you to help you out, mind you, you're attacking me. You're basically saying nasty things about me. And I'm praying to the Lord about asking him about how do we handle the situation where it does not affect your kids, where it doesn't affect your ability to be able to function. Imagine that. That's how amazing God is. This is me 20 years ago. We've never had this conversation, ever. 30 years ago, maybe 30 years ago. 30 years ago. I'm not 30 years ago. I'm not 30 years. Yeah, 30 years ago. I'm probably roughly my time. Yeah, 30 years ago. I was running the streets and I was out there living that life. We'd have never had this conversation. This never would have came up. You would have never acknowledged I would have knew what I knew. The only way you would have found out unless you seen me at your front door with a bunch of people. That's the only way. That's the type of person I was. I didn't go out and have this conversation back and forth. You'd never see me coming. Why would I go out and say something and you get the jump on me? You would never know. You're sitting right on your porch with a bunch of people waiting to take you out. That's would have been the conversation when it came down to. But other than that, since that person is dead, and thank God, and he's never going to be able to come back. You know, the beautiful thing about this whole thing that I went through with these individuals who attack me, my family, and everything, it's a blessing for me. Gentlemen, you might be thinking like, oh, how's it a blessing? We called him all kinds of names. We took his face and plastered it all over the internet. We said nasty things about his family. We said nasty things about his cat. We did all kinds of dirty things to this guy at the end of the day. And I guess we're putting that pressure on him. Like Mr. Williams said, we got our knee on Kenneth Bird's neck. You said that to a Christian. You better repent. You guys need to repent. You have no idea the judgment that's coming your way. You need to repent, my God. But you did all that evil stuff to me, right? What did I do to you? I went out and collected all the stuff that you did to me to get ready for court. That's what I did. Did I do the same acts you did? No. Why would I do that? I'd be following the devil. I don't want no part of him. I'm done. I had enough of that one right there today. I didn't do any of that stuff. Did I make weird poses of yourself and splatter? I didn't do any of that stuff. Jamie, I know where your family members live at. All of them. I got your white pages. I know exactly where every single one of your brothers and sisters lay their heads at. Did I contact any of them? No. Did I send nasty messages or did I send letters? No. Not at all. None about it at all. Do I send letters to your place? No. Only letters I send to your place come from court. That's it. You get any weird messages from me, I don't send you stuff like that because I'm not about that life. I don't serve the devil on that level. All I do is just expose you for the things that you are doing. And the things you're doing are wrong. You know that. So, with that being said, I don't entertain the devil on that level. And if the dog comes up or I lose my temper and get upset, I pray and give it to God right away because I want to shut that door as fast as I possibly can. So you guys feel at the end of the day that because we hate, well, there is no hatred for you at all, period. You guys refuse to pick up that cross and walk with Jesus. You do. All that you did to try to destroy me, nothing happened. My Lord, who I trust, who I give faith to, the one that healed me of my lung disease, not being able to see at one point, getting screws in my kneecap, said I'll never walk again. That Lord who basically brought his son to hang on the cross for me. That one who basically kept me from getting a 40 to 80 year prison sentence. Allow me to have this conversation with you right now. That Lord right there, who has saved me on so many levels, who has blessed my hand on so many levels that I can't even count. That Lord right there is the one that kept you from trying to destroy me. And you know what I learned in that whole situation? Why I consider it to be a blessing from the Lord, why I give him praise, why I give him thanks. When you attack me, I give my Lord praise. I thank him. I don't go and say, Lord, these people attack me, Lord. No, I give him praise. Thank you, Jesus, for giving me this opportunity to praise your name. You know why I give him praise when you attack me? Because it allows me to see that the person I once was a long time ago is truly dead. Because, Fernando, if you even had looked at me the wrong way, you'd have lost your life. That's the kind of person I was. I was a very nasty human being. No. I didn't think I was big, bad, tough guy. No. I was a person that was not afraid to take life. I wasn't afraid to die either. I was suicidal, extremely suicidal. I was waiting for someone to kill me, to get me out of the misery that I was living in. I wasn't a happy person. I was a very, very angry human being. The devil was in me, in and out, every single day. I hated everything around me, including my own life. And I couldn't wait till the day came that a stray bullet would break through and strike me and get me out of this hell I was in. Yet every day, I couldn't break the cycle. Every day I got up every morning and I basically wreaked havoc and hell on other people every single day. And every day I came home depressed and upset, hating myself, hating everything around me, just praying not to wake up the next day. I was not a happy person to wake up. Another day of on being in this world, of living this life that I know deep down inside my mother, who's a saved woman, who's trying to rescue me, and yet I'm so far from everybody. If you had met me, if any of you have met me, you wouldn't be alive. I was not the big bad guy. No, I just was a person who wasn't afraid to die. A person who's not afraid to die is an extremely dangerous person because they don't even care for their own life. And if they don't care for their own life, they definitely won't care for yours. I had no remorse over anything in my path, which means if you were outside holding your young daughter, I would have taken you both out with no problem. I had no remorse for nothing. No form of human life of any kind whatsoever. Didn't make a difference what was in front of me. That's the kind of demon that I had in me. It spoke to me. Every single day it spoke to me in my sleep. You know, I spend a lot of time sitting in graveyards. I remember that, sitting in graveyards. I felt comfortable. I felt at home when I was in these places among the dead. I had no remorse for anything at all. Not even my own family. I would have murdered them too. Even my own mother, I would have murdered her. I had no remorse for nothing. That's why I know what it's like to have that thing in you, have demons in you. So I was not me anymore. I was something else. And I would smile and laugh at people, and they never knew it was me. And it would talk to me the entire time. It would tell me how much power I had and how I had immortality and I couldn't die. Because I remember at one point where a car pulled off and I went to draw my weapon, and I remember the car shooting, and I basically put my weapon back in the holster, praying that one of those bullets would strike me, and nothing happened. And the devil would go, see, you can't be killed. So if I was that person I was many, many, many years back, I would have been on a plane to your front door and I would have wiped your apartment clean. I would have set that building on fire, burned everything to the ground. Didn't make a difference to me. Who died, whatever, I don't care. And hopefully, if I'm lucky, that maybe the police will get there and they will kill me before I go someplace else. That's what was living in me. No remorse for nobody at all, period. Not a thing. Can you imagine having something like that inside of you? That much hatred. And the more I would literally generate hatred to feed it. I remember having this vision of being in hell. It was a long mountain, and the mountain was spiral. And it was a bunch of people were marching up this spiral mountain, all this fire around us. And in the front of it, the line was the devil. Those are the dreams I had. And I'm in there dancing to this rhythm, marching up this spiral mountain. And all around was nothing but fire, death, destruction, torture. And I'm happy, I'm dancing, and the devil's right up in the front, just like the band leader. I remember that. There's certain things the Lord left intact for me never to forget. And if you had looked at me the wrong way, you'd have lost your life. Because I would have taken it as a threat. That means I would have to kill you. That's the type of person I was. So when I see that the person I am now, that I see that all that stuff that you guys did to me, and I'm able to get through all of that without ever waking that thing up ever again, that it's dead, it's definitely dead, it is never ever coming back, that is the best blessing that I can receive from my Lord and Savior, of being put through those trials and tribulations, that thing is forever dead and will never ever come back. I am with my Lord 100%. There is nothing in me that has any desire to ever go back to that world ever again. I am truly free. That's what you've given to me. I got a blessing out of that. The Lord will take Satan's evil ways that he uses other people and turn them into blessings for his Christians. And that's what I got out of all that. And even today, when you still attack me, even today, when you still say nasty things about me, even today when you guys send letters here and you try to contact the owners. Yeah, they contacted the owners and tried to get me kicked out of the building. You tried everything you possibly could, everything, contact, zoning, just made all these nasty accusations about me, everything you could possibly think of. And I sat there and said, Lord, at one point when it first started and all this was kind of, why would you allow these people to prosecute us this way? Why would you allow them to attack us this way? And the Lord basically showed me that when the world comes up against you, when you have an army of 1 million, whoever it may be, that not one hair on your head will be touched, that your table will continue to be able to break bread, that your health will still be at an amazing rate, that your insanity and all of that will be intact, that he will have your back 100%, that the devil will not be able to lay one hand on you. You will weather the storm and you will come out stronger. And gentlemen, that's what I got out of all this. I came out a much stronger Christian. I've seen these people attack me on every level you can possibly think of, and that person never woke up. He's dead. He's gone. That is a blessing from my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. But in return, you didn't get blessings. You're getting cursed. And you want me to hate you. I'm not going to hate you. I have to do what I have to do. Me taking you to court, me filing lawsuits, it's all part of the law of the land. And if you said, well, that's hatred, no, it's not hatred. You committed a crime. If I committed a crime, I don't consider the judge, I don't consider the person who testified against me, I don't think they hated me. I committed a crime. That's a part of life. That's part of growing up. So I deserve whatever time I got, and that's what I got. And I served my 8 years in blessing, thank you, Lord, 9 months, and I got out a free man. But you guys, at the end of the day, you feel that you go out and you commit crimes on this land, and someone files these charges against you for you doing this wrong against them, they're full of hatred. That's what you believe. It's not that, gentlemen. If it was about hatred, as I said before, I know a lot of people. I don't bother with these people, but I do know a lot of people. I can pick up a phone, one call, I know you're at. You ain't there no more. Just like that. But I don't follow that life anymore. That person's dead. And I try to preach to these people every day. I say, hey, you gotta get out of that life, get your life together. Come on, man, find God, find Jesus, do something, get him to church, something. Hope I can get him out of that life. It's a bit of a struggle sometimes, but I'm working on it. I'm not that person anymore. That person died. I used to be a person of great hatred and so and so and so. And all the crazy, no, that person's dead. He ain't around anymore. I don't even know who you're talking about anymore. I'm a changed person. So all that effort, you wasted all that time. All that time wasted. I know I wasted all that time out in the streets carrying on doing dumb stuff. All that time wasted. And I could have been doing something better with it, like serving Jesus. So gentlemen, all that you do today, all that you do tomorrow, all your campaigns, all your hatred toward me at the end of the day, won't take anything off my table. The Lord will always bless us to have bread on our table. The Lord will always bless us to be happy and healthy and safe. But you curse yourself and you bring destruction upon your own lives and you bring destruction upon your own family members around you. Those that are saved within your fold at the end of the day, they're protected by Jesus. And those that are not in your fold, that follow your ways, they are cursed. So, that being said, I'm going to start my day. I'm so happy I got so much to do today. I had a nice talk with the Lord while listening to some family radio, which I'm going to start playing more and more and more. I've got things I want to do. I asked the Lord yesterday to use my business, everything that I have around me, use it to glorify your name and show me a way how I can use my entire life to serve you better. That's the best gift I can give. I can't wait till my time comes I can go home. You know why? Because I can't serve God 100% in this body. I'm a cursed body. This body is cursed. You know the greatest gift of all, when people sit there and talk about the Lord, and they say, well, I can't wait to go to heaven because of the treasures. It ain't about the treasures. Christians, it ain't about the treasures. Ain't about none of that. It's about being able to pay back the debt. It's about being able to serve the Lord 100% in a celestial body that knows no sin. You know how amazing that is at the end of the day? We owe him. We owe him so much. We owe him so much. We owe him so much. His son died for us so we can see the next life, so we can get to know him. His son died for us. He gave up his life for us. And for Christians, true Christians, and I mean true Christians because you got people out there who say they serve God, but you don't serve God. You're of this world. You got to get it together. Pick up that cross. Don't drag it behind you. Pick it up, put it on your shoulder, and carry it with Jesus. The best thing, the best gift that we can give God is our dedication, our true love to him. Showing him at the end of the day that we dedicate our lives to him. That we don't want to be of this world. You want to slip and fall and make mistakes, you're going to do it. Your body's cursed. It's going to happen. Try to stay away from those things. Try to stay away from them. Pray and ask the Lord, try to stay away from these things. I know it's hard. And it's harder for a Christian because when a Christian falls, it hurts. It's painful. It's very painful for us. I make a mistake. I get upset and get angry. It hurts me because this man died on the cross for me. He gave up his life for me. And this is how I'm repaying him by going out and doing stuff that I know that would hurt him at the end of the day. I want to keep God happy. I want to try to keep God happy. But in this body, I know I'm going to make mistakes. But the best gift of all is when I go home, not just seeing my mother's face again, not seeing my Heavenly Father, it's the fact that I will be able to serve him 100% without sin. I can pay the debt back. That's the best thing that a Christian should have on his mind at the end of the day. Not about being rich on the earth. Not about collecting great wealth, because you see these guys, they're trying to collect money. It ain't about that. It's about paying back the debt. Because we want to do it. We want to serve the Lord. A Christian wants to serve the Lord the best way he possibly can. He wants to become as close to Jesus as he possibly can. I want to be like that wallpaper laying against that wall. I want to be that close to Jesus. But there's a separation there. I'm in this cursed body. And I hate making mistakes because I want to be true to him. But when my time comes, I won't have this body anymore. I have my true body, my celestial body. I'll be able to serve him 100%. That's why I'm so happy about my mother. When she passed away, I had my sadness, but it didn't stay with me. That grief didn't stay with me. The other people in the family, they don't know how to accept this. They're still sad and they're still crying. They're still upset. They're still bitter. That's the devil. You got to separate from that. You got to realize that if your loved one was saved, and this is why it's important to find Jesus. You don't want to be sitting there and thinking that your loved one is sitting burning in a place that you don't want them to be at. Nobody wants to be in a place like that. And that's why you get out there and you talk about the Lord. Because you don't want people to end up in that situation. You don't want them going to hell. You don't want your loved ones in hell. Nobody wants their loved ones in hell. Even your own enemy. I don't want to see Jamie or the rest of them go to hell. No, I don't. I'm hoping that they get their lives together, pick up that cross, and follow Jesus. Because everything you're doing to me is not hurting me. You're hurting yourself. But that's why we preach. That's why we talk about the Lord. And this is why I'm going to do more and more and more and more and more. Because again, I have to get the word out there so people can get saved and find God. Just like I did. That's what's more important. And then being able to pay back the debt and to serve the Lord 100% without this body. Because at the end of the day, I don't chase money. When guys come at me and say, oh, we'll give you money, I don't chase your money. I don't want your money. God will provide everything that I need. It ain't about money from me. Oh, he's scamming. Why in the world would I try to scam? I'm going to take this is my blessing from God. This is what he gave to me. And how crazy that sounds, and how God doesn't like it when you say that. Why would I go out and scam people if this is my blessing from my Lord who gave this to me? Why would I take this? Why would I turn this into something and steal from people? Do you have any idea the path that I had to follow and all that I went through with these demons at the end of the day of trying to do things right by God? How hard I had to work to get to this point in my life? The trials and tribulations that I had to go through. the hurdles and walls I had to conquer, and to be able to have the Lord by my side helping me with all that. You think I'm going to throw this away for some freaking paint at the end of the day? Are you kidding me? If the Lord tells me I walk away, this business does not exist to me anymore. My Lord comes first before anybody, before this paint, before anything that I have in my life. I can be a multi-millionaire. If the Lord says walk away, money gone, I'm gone. I don't need that. I would rather be a homeless man eating out of a trash can, wearing the same clothes every single day, urinating and pooping in a bucket, than be a rich man without God. My Lord is my life. All I have is Jesus. I don't have anything at all but God. That's all I have. I can be the richest man in the world. I still don't have anything. If I don't have Jesus, I have nothing. So you say all you want at the end of the day. I have the Lord. That's all I need. And the Lord provides me for everything that I need. Bless me with these computers and how to build them and all that. Because at one point I didn't know how to build a computer. And this is all blessings from God. But we got people come in and mock my blessings. You're not hurting me, you're hurting yourself. And I pray that the Lord has mercy on you. I do. Like I said, I told you, I got first-hand experience in my life on what it's like and how the Lord protects his people. I will never forget that as long as I live. When you go through, Christians know this, when you go through a point in your life where you go through one of those trials and tribulations, there are some of them you will never, ever forget as long as you live. And you will talk about this. This is a testimony to God. For those you don't know, I'm just going to repeat this, and I'm going to repeat it again and again. That I had a brother-in-law, he's still brother-in-law, I bumped into him too, which is interesting. But I had a brother-in-law who basically, true believer in God, man of God. He did slip away. He walked away from the cross and got himself in a lot of trouble. But still, I hope he finds his way back. Lost sheep, hope he finds himself way back to the fold. But anyway, yeah, so he came in the house, and I wanted to run the streets and carry on and act up. And he said, hey, let's sit back and let's go order some pizza and let's watch some movies. That'd have been a fan. Right now, that'd be great. That's fantastic for me right now. But until I'm young, I'll do what I want to do, and I think I'm a big, bad, tough guy. The tough guy. Big, bad, tough guy. And I made a statement to him that I will shoot you in your face. You know how awful a statement it is to make to somebody, shoot them in their face? I didn't think anything of it at all, period. I said to people all the time, what do I care? It's a family member, who cares? I'm walking, I got my jacket on. He just looked at me shocked, like, He didn't get angry, he didn't say anything bad to me. He was shocked. And I went outside, I got my jacket on, and the minute I stepped foot off that porch, the neighborhood changed. Like, there's people out there 24/7. Like, there's nobody out, not even a drug user. There's nothing out there. I'm like, must be having some kind of game, because usually when we have games, you're trying to rationalize what's going on here, because you can't explain it yourself. Usually when you have games, you have half the block down there, because we have rival basketball games down there from time to time. So maybe that's where everybody's at. But the drug users? And I'm trying to rationalize, like, where's everybody at? I'm going to turn the corner, ain't nobody out there. I turn the second corner, and there's very little street lighting on that side. But I ain't care. I'm in my own neighborhood. Nobody crazy to stick me up right here at the end of the day. And no sooner than I took that first step, there they were. Where did they come from? Like, I didn't see them. I didn't hear them. I saw no car, no vehicle, nothing. At least somebody starts over somebody, brace yourself or something. Nothing. And I felt that cold steel on my forehead, which was a gun. It's right on my head. It's a revolver. I could see the individual bullets in the chamber. There was not one was not missing, which means if he had squeezed that trigger, he'd have turned my head like a jack-o'-lantern with a firecracker. And I didn't think about killing these people. I didn't think about revenge. I didn't think about my own life of being killed. The only thing I could hear is what I said to my brother-in-law over and over and over and over. I couldn't hear nothing else but that. That's all I could hear. And I knew what was happening. I knew I was under judgment. I knew that what was standing, well, it was three of them, were standing in front of me, or whatever they were standing in front of me. I knew why they were there. Oh, God will let you know. God will let you know 100%. When that judgment comes to you, He will let you know why it's there and why it's happening. You will know. And I knew. I didn't think about anybody else. Like I ruffled a lot of feathers in that neighborhood. I didn't think about any one of those people. I thought about what I said to my brother-in-law. That's the only thing that was in my head. So Lord was letting me know I was there. And the interesting thing about these three individuals, I can see their sneakers, I can see their pants, but they had no faces. They spoke. They had a voice, but there were no faces there. So how are they sitting there? Even in an area that's never a street light, I can make out your face. I'm right up on top of you, and you have no face. It was like a dark shadow from the way up. Everything was dark. I could see sneakers and pants, but when I got past that point, it was like someone put this dark piece of plastic over top of them. I couldn't see nothing. So I knew what they were. They're demons. Sometimes the Lord has to dangle you over the fire. He don't drop you in. It was His judgment if He drops you or not, but He didn't drop me in. Thank God He did. He dangled me over the fire to let me know at the end of the day, you don't threaten my people. And He at the same time have mercy on me because I could have been killed. So now I'm thinking, okay, I'm coming out of it. I know the Lord's talking to me. But now I'm starting to see that maybe these guys, or Satan coming like, man, these guys trying to rob you at the end of the day. I had brand new Air Jordans on. I had some jewelry on too. And they didn't ask for my stuff. They just had a gun on my head. So what I did was I pushed one of them. And it was a body there because I felt my body hit against him. I just couldn't see his face. I couldn't understand that part. And as I started running, I started zigzagging. Because I figured if it's going to be harder to hit a moving target that's going from left to right, you know, I mean, if he's a bad shot, if it gets me in the leg or whatever, maybe hopefully I can drag myself around the corner. I can call out somebody who can handle that situation. Not thinking there was nobody on the other side. I didn't realize that. There would be nobody because I just came through nobody. But when I got hit the corner, everybody was out there. Like, I'm like, what in the world is going on? Like, where are you people? What y'all going? Like, we were here the whole entire time. What are you talking about? They were not there. So now I know why it happened. But here comes Satan in my head telling me at the end of the day that we got to take care of this business. So now I'm locking and loading in a caravan with a bunch of my people and some high-powered weapons looking for individuals that we will never find, ever. And then the day after that, you would think, after going through all that little situation, I would go in and I would apologize to my brother-in-law, which the Lord was telling me to go apologize. Ask for forgiveness, give forgiveness. And I wouldn't do it. Because Satan got in my head and started talking about, we don't ask for forgiveness for nobody, we ain't afraid of nobody. Next time we walk up on these guys, we want to take them out. Because now I'm carrying I'm carrying my Glock, and my Glock is carrying hollow points. Because next time I see these guys, that's it. I'm shooting first, ask questions later. But there, I can't kill something that's not there. I can't kill something that technically was not real. But that's what Satan's telling me. So now I got a gun on me all 24/7 in paranoid state. Well, it got worse than that. It got way worse than that. There were random people in the neighborhood that I knew and I've seen were now trying to kill me. And now I'm trying to figure out, like, what in the world did I do? Like, who the heck did I tick off that half the neighborhood wants me dead? And this got worse and worse and worse to the point where I couldn't take it no more. I couldn't take it. I knew I had what I had to go do. I got to go ask for forgiveness, and that's what I did. So I asked my sister if I could meet with my brother-in-law, and I sat down with him, and I apologized. I said, look, man, I'm sorry. I need that forgiveness. And he gave it to me. So when I walked out that door, it stopped. Nobody was trying to kill me. I had people walk past me that were staring at me up and down like this, going to kill me right there on the spot. Didn't know me. And you know, you got to be careful, because even when the Lord released that judgment and allowed me to be able to move freely, the devil came in and tried to put it back on by saying, oh, so that's the guy who was staring at you at the end of the day, but now he don't know you. He must be afraid. Not realizing what I just went through and how the Lord released me of that. Here comes the devil trying to mess it up. So if I had pulled out my firearm and hit that guy in his back and took him out, that means at the end of the day, I would have restarted a whole bunch. And who knows what he was connected to? Who knows what I could start a war could have popped off over that mess. Nope. I sat there and said to myself, I said, I'm done. I had enough. I don't want anything. I want no more. And I ended right there. Satan had no power over that. Yep. Well, people, I got much to do. Hopefully, we take some of the things that I've said, put it in consideration. I know people that are out there following the devil. I feel sorry for you because I know in the back of your mind, hopefully you're not thinking that way, but you're probably thinking that, oh, he's just weak. He's just calling out because he's weak and we're really putting damage on him. You're not putting any damage on me at all, period. You're not doing anything to me at all, period. God protects me. You're playing a dangerous game. The very danger you think that you're bringing to me, you're bringing it to yourself. If you have not taken anything from what I just said, you're in a lot of danger. A lot of danger. All I can do is just talk about it. Hopefully somebody hears it. Well, just like that guy sitting on the corner preaching about the Lord, and I put them headsets on and walked away. You don't want to be that person. Trust me, you don't want to be that person. All right, I got to go. Be safe out there. Thank you all for your time, and God bless.